everybody, welcome to December's Number Corner. So we have a totally new observation grid and calendar collector starting today. So what you're going to need for today is your math notebook and something to write with. So remember, your math notebook looks like this and something to write with. Pause the video while you go get those materials. You absolutely will need them. It's absolutely your exit ticket. Go ahead and go. So to start with, we're just going to go ahead and look at our first calendar card for today. So today is December 2nd is what I was going to say. Today is December 2nd. We're going to start with Tuesday the 1st because that was yesterday. We're going to go ahead and flip it over. Okay, wow. What do you guys see there? Do you see? Some of you guys might have said that I noticed a triangle. Some of you guys might have said, I notice that there's a fraction written on there, a half. If you don't know what a fraction is, that is what a fraction is, 1/2, which you should know from last month's number corner if you were here at all. So just looking at this piece, I'm going to go ahead and present this so it's bigger. What would the whole piece look like, do you think? If you have a scrap sheet of paper, maybe sketch it out, or a whiteboard, what do you think the whole piece would look like? Anyone have any ideas? Yeah, it would probably be a square, right? So if I have a triangle, and I add another triangle up top here, if I flipped it around and added another one up top here, it would be a square. So this would be half of a square, and this would be half of a square. I guess it's more of a rectangle on mine, but theirs is more of a square because the sides are equal. All right, so we notice, what color is it? Green. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Last time that kind of just told us how many rows were going to be in the array that we were doing. Okay, now let's look at day number 2, Wednesday. Ooh, what do we notice about this one? Yeah, it looks like it's 2 triangles. One is a dark green and one is a light green. Looks like there's 2 parts. It looks like it is making a square. Anything else? Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to get out our math notebook and we're going to be turning to the next blank page. So again, just like last month where we went back and used this a lot for Number Corner, we're going to be doing the same thing. I really like that, the calendar grid observations. So I'm going to take my sticky note from last time. And I'm going to move it to my next blank page, which is right here. And what you need to do is you need to put the date in the corner. Today is 12-2. I like to make little squigglies around it. And the title for this is going to be December, and we're not going to write out the whole word December. We're going to use the abbreviation or shortened version, so DEC, period. That's just the abbreviation. It means December. Number Corner. So spelling doesn't count, but it sound out the best that you can. Number Corner. Pause the video if you need more time. All right. At the very, very top here, we're just going to put a couple key things that we're going to need to know. We're going to need to know what a fraction is. So in your notebook, and yes, you do have to write this, you need to write the word fraction. It's F-R-A, fra. And then it makes the K sound, but it's actually a C, frac. And then shun is T-I-O-N. I like to put an arrow afterwards when I'm doing a definition. So you need to write the word fraction. Yes, you have to do it. Pause the video if you need more time. And the meaning of the word fraction is part of a whole. So in your notebook, you're going to be writing part, P-A-R-T, of, O-F, a, whole is spelled W-H-O-L-E. If it doesn't have the W on it, it means just a hole in the ground. And it's not a part of a hole in the ground. I mean, it could be, but it's not. It's a part of any whole object. This will make more sense as we go. So pause the video if you need more time to write that. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and write an example of a fraction. You're going to be putting the number 1 and then a straight line 2. So we're going to write 1/2, 1/2. 1 out of 2. And the number on top has a really fancy word that you're probably gonna see, so you're gonna need to know. It's called the numerator. What are you talking about? Let's say there. Numerator, and we're gonna write that out. Yes, we are, because when you write stuff down, research shows it sticks in your brain a little bit better. So we're gonna write the word numerator. It's N-U-M, just like number starts. N-U-M. E-R. If I'm going too fast, pause this video. Numerator is spelled T-O-R. So the numerator is the number on top, and we're going to draw another arrow. And this is the number of parts. And so I'm just going to use the symbol for number, which is like the hashtag sign, number of parts. The word part is up there. Pause the video if you need more time. All right, next thing we're gonna do is the denominator. So I always say, like, the denominator is the one in charge. The denominator tells you how many parts an object or something has. So denominator is spelled D, like dog, E-N, so denominator? No, it's denominator. D-E-N-O. Min is M-I-N. Pause the video if I'm going too fast. Tor, T-O-R. Denominator. Okay? And the denominator is how many parts you have total. So we're going to write total, T-O-T-A-L, parts. Total parts. This may not make sense right now. It will the more we practice, the more we do this. The numerator is the number of parts. The denominator is the total number of parts. So to do 1/2, we're going to draw a picture just to show what that means. I want you to draw a shape, like a square or a rectangle, or even a circle. And go ahead and draw that now. And I just want you to divide it in half one time. Okay? And then we're going to label it. This part is a half, and this part is a half. Each part is worth 1/2 of the whole object, and the whole object is a whole square. 2 out of 2. It's the whole. All right. We have a little bit more writing to do today. This is why that's the only thing we're doing in Number Corner. All right, so what we need to do now is we're going to need to make our calendar grid observation chart. Yay! I know you're excited. You can't hide it. So for this, I'm totally going to freak you out right now, but I promise it's going to be okay. We're going to take this paper that we just did and we're going to flip it over. And what we're going to do next is going to be wild. We're going to turn our notebook the long way. This is up and down, the long way. And this is how we're going to make our chart. If you want to do it up and down, you can. There's just not a whole lot of room. So we're going to do our titles on top of this red line. And I know that there's holes in it, so you just kind of have to write underneath them or move over a little bit so you're not right underneath of them. The first one is called date. So it's D-A-T-E. It's going to be the date that we're doing that activity. Then what I like to do is I like to go to the blue line right next to it, and I can draw my blue line straight down. That separates that section. Boom, done. The next section is going to be called shaded. So you're actually going to write the word shaded, S-H-A-D-E-D. And I'm sorry, that should be fractions shaded. So up above it, I'm going to write the word fractions. F-R-A-C-E-I-T. Wow. F-R-A-C and then shun, T-I-O-N. So fraction shaded. And I'm gonna give myself some space here because you're gonna want some space. I'm gonna draw the line maybe right here. You don't have to draw lines if you don't want to. You can wait and see. All right, the next one is a big long word, and of course we ran right into a circle, so we're gonna do our best. We're gonna learn about something called equivalent fractions. If that sounds like Spanish right now, that's totally okay. We're gonna learn about it. So we're gonna be writing equivalent fractions. I know that there's a circle in my way, so I'm gonna try to squeeze equivalent above the circle. It's EQU I V A L E N T. And then underneath of it, I'm going to write fractions, which we've already written once, so I'm not going to spell it out for you. It's plural, so we're putting an S on the end. And then we're going to draw another line. Boom. So many lines, so many sections. And then the final section, because I'm not going to have you put an observation section on here unless you really, really want to. This last section is going to be called equations. EQUATIONS. Okay. And then you can draw the line if you want to, but you don't have to because it's the last one. All right, pause the video if you need more time to write this. You are going to have to take a picture of this for your exit ticket today, so you're going to want to make sure that you are actually writing it down. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look-see at those two cards and we're going to fill this in. Now, because it's written sideways like this, you're going to have to work really hard to make sure that your information is staying like in a normal area. So you don't want to write really huge. We're going to be doing this 14 times probably is what my plan is, once a day. So you're going to need to be able to have 14 spaces, or you're going to have to remake this whole chart on the back, which doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. All right, so we're going to go over here to day number 1, and we're going to put the 1 right here. I like to get a blank piece of paper as my guideline just so I don't go all crazy when I'm writing sideways like this. Okay. So for the date of the number 1, what fraction is shaded? It tells you. A half, right? So we're going to write 1/2 right there. We haven't learned about equivalent fractions yet, so we're going to skip that. And this doesn't show any equations. It just shows 1/2, so there's nothing to write there. So the only two things you need to write for the first day are 1. Should be day, not date. I don't know. They have it as day, but I think they have it as date, but I think I like day better, but whatever. All right, we're moving on to day number 2 now. Again, you're going to have to make sure that you're using your space wisely here. All right, day number 2, fraction shaded. What do you guys think here? What is the fraction shaded on this one? Well, they're both shaded, right? They're just shaded different colors. So for this one, 2 out of 2 is shaded. So you're going to write 2/2. And if the top number and the bottom number are the same, it means that you have the whole thing. So 2 out of 2 or 1, because it's the whole thing. It's one whole square. It's not half of a square, it's a whole square. Again, we haven't learned equivalent fractions yet, so we're skipping that one. And then we're going to go over here to equations. So this one does show an equation. It has dark green plus a light green. So for our equation, we're going to write 1/2 for your dark green. We know that from yesterday, that the dark green stood for 1/2 plus the light green, which we just saw today, equaled what? How many were there all together? 2 out of 2 or 1. Notice how when you're doing this, the denominator does not change. The number of parts does not change. That's really important when it comes to adding fractions together, to remember that the denominator isn't going to change because you can't change the number of equal parts when you're working on this stuff. All right, so that is it for Number Corner today. What you need to do now is you need to go to the next page and you need to insert a picture of this so that I can see that you have done it. So you push Insert, Image, Camera, your picture will show up there, Insert. If you're having trouble, if there's like a red line through your camera up here, it means that you blocked it and you need to allow it. If you're still having trouble, you need to reach out and go Guardian. We are going to be posting pictures a lot, so you need to figure out how to do this. We're in December. We've been doing it a lot. I I will not accept this without a picture, so I need to see evidence or proof. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.